Good afternoon, Seven Institutions. It's February 24th. It's a little bit before 1 p.m. We have the pleasure of having the Section 11 have the military folks in here, and they're going to go down through their request outlined in Section 11. So, sir, thank you. Thank you for coming. And just what do you have for us?
Well, thank you very much for having us this afternoon. My name is Lieutenant Colonel Jacob Roy. I'm the Construction and Facilities Management Officer for the Vermont Army National Guard. Today, I'd like to also introduce, as I'm sure everybody knows him well, Mr. Ken Gregg, the Deputy Adjutant General, and then our Financial Manager, Ms. Kim Fideli. So today, what we're talking about, so in our 24-25 requests, broken down by year, roughly just shy of 1.3 million in 24 and just over 1 million in 25. On our list of things as we go down through, we highlight major repair projects such as bathrooms, roof replacements, windows, doors, insulation, energy efficiency. There's a lot of line items that kind of go in with that. And what I'd like to kind of explain to you is with each one of those, it's not a project in of itself. We actually take a lot of those and bundle them together for a facility and actually try to bid them all out together. So for example, Bradford currently is one of the projects that was funded from last year. That is a perfect example. We're going through and we're doing the roof, we're doing the boiler systems, we're doing all of that stuff all together. So for the 24 year, St. Albans Armory, Williston Armory are going to kind of run into that as well. And then some smaller projects and ad hoc things here and here, which kind of ties into the bulk of this cost estimate. The one specific line item is Winooski demolition. We have 200,000 that we've highlighted there as the state match to the demolition project that we're anticipating. That is hinging right now on another sustainment project that we're actually doing for the unit in order for the unit to move into the building, and we can vacate Winooski. But we're optimistic that we can make that happen in our timeline. So that kind of like is an overall summary. Again, St. Albans and Winooski are the two big ones, or excuse me, Williston are the two major projects that we're looking at for significant renovations over the next year. And then after that, some of our facilities at Camp Johnson, Building 2 at Camp Johnson, Building 5 at Camp Johnson, adding some mezzanine space into Virgins in 25. So, and then Berlin Armory is the next big one that we're going to look at. That's going to need some attention.
Still an Armory, Winooski. Still an Armory.
In Winooski, yes sir, there is. Yeah. That is its days are numbered though.
I graduated my school there, so I know it's a long time ago.
Wow. Yeah. So.
Wow.
Yeah, it was built. It was one of the first beginning of Cold War era armories that was built. I think it was 1954 time frame, and then late 19. Yeah. So, but yeah. So that's in summary, that's kind of what we're looking at.
How many buildings do you guys? Well, how many do you have within the state?
Oh, sir, there's. In square footage, we have just over 500,000 square feet of building infrastructure. And however, that being said, based on unit requirements and things, we're still roughly about 400,000 short of actual square footage requirements. Yes, sir.
Now, I can remember last year, and we're thankful it's only $2.3 million. I mean, don't get us wrong, but I remember last year when we went down through, and I look at the FY 30 to 33, we're looking at almost 18.6 million. There seemed to be last year a lot more requests. What happened? I mean, did you guys, maybe not, maybe I'm just remembering it wrong. It just seemed like you had a lot more need for projects last year that maybe we couldn't have got there. I mean, are things smoothing out
out for you, or are you still,
No, and we've really had the requests that we had from last year are still there. They're all everything that's gonna work. But what I can tell you is that based on current environment in the construction industry right now, we've tailored back on projects a little bit. We have actually had to shift a lot of the focus to our 100% federally supported facilities.
Yep.
Because of cost overruns, because of bid busts, and things, and we just did not have, even with the budget adjustments, we just did not have the right dollar alignments to be able to drive forward. So we did scale back a little bit over the next 2 years on state required projects, by a little breathing room. But even with the 2.3, honestly, I don't think it's going to be enough to do what we're looking at doing.
Yeah.
It is, when we're looking at renovation projects coming in with $600 square foot price tags, it's pretty astronomical. And the other thing that I want to say that we're kind of cognizant about is we are going to be asking for some substantial dollar amounts in the 27, 28, 30, 31 time period in preparation for our next major military construction project. The amount of 100% federal projects I've been able to do pretty much has come to a close this year. So our next major military construction project that we're looking at in those time periods is going to be, we're going to have to buy the land, do the studies, the design effort, and then the actual construction is going to be in the range across years between 8, 10, or $11 million. And that's going to be on top of our annual operating budget ask. Now the good news to that, even though it's a lot up front, the good news to that is with our regional readiness center concept is that our annual ask, we're trying to condense all these older buildings down into one building in significant areas around the state. So hopefully our annual operating ask doesn't increase as much as if we're trying to maintain these older armories in 22 locations around the state. So that's, a plus, but with all the new technology and things like that are coming in with inflation and things, we're still going to have a significant ask in our annual operating budget, in our capital improvement budget.
Has this influx of federal dollars been kind to you folks as far as, some of the projects that you're trying to get to, or you got 100% money from the feds and all, from the government and all that. Has some of that been able to alleviate some of your pressures?
From our readiness centers?
Yeah.
Not so much.
Yeah.
We have applied a lot of it to our training site, both at Camp Johnson and at the firing range, to our schoolhouse, to our flight facility where the helicopters are. A lot of that is 100% federal. The things like those types of facilities, it's been really, really good. Matching all the other facilities that require a state match. We're really, I got to give her credit because her and her staff do extremely well at maximizing the federal dollar that we bring in. Our annual budget last year was the biggest I've ever seen it. We were just shy of $22 million total, and that's operations and maintenance plus capital construction money that came in. And then on top of that, with a major military construction money that's coming in as well. So I would say over the next until 26, we're looking at about $60 million in major military on top of our annual budget that's coming into the state of Vermont.
What's the membership of is it growing, or
I was going to ask that.
are they growing the population of the?
Your recruitment.
Recruitment?
Yeah.
This is the national.
Good. Please.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, sure. We're struggling. Our end strength should be right around 3,100, and we're right now total Army and Air. We should be 3,400, and we're at about 2,900. We could fill 500 spots today.
I was wondering about that because everybody else is,
No, we're not immune to it.
And, yeah, I wouldn't think so, especially, well, you went out high schools, you work with them.
We're working every avenue we can.
So that-
Our latest effort actually is we're making quite a few inroads with New Americans.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, we have several efforts going on with
Nice.
New Americans.
that's excellent.
Yeah,
That's a
it
good
is.
idea.
No, that is very nice.
So are those part-time or full-time positions?
Predominantly, all the vacancies are part-time. They're, yeah, they're the traditional guardsmen.
Well, it's a major commitment.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's not, yeah, it's part-time, but it's not.
Oh,
Right, I'm just
Yeah.
curious. So it's
Just
two
think about it,
full-time
the
years.
brigade just came back from a one-year deployment,
Yeah,
1,000
right.
people.
Oh, okay.
And right on their heels, we just sent out our aviation unit, the medical unit, the helicopters along with the medical team. And that's, that unit is heavy ops tempo. They deploy about every 30 to 36 months for a year at a time.
Oh, wow, so that's not part-time.
Where's the next base of F-35s? What's the next closest base?
It'll be Wisconsin,
Wisconsin.
yes. So the
And
next,
how many, I don't know what to call them, I apologize. How many groups of F-35s are within the United States?
so right now, there's only 2 operational organizations. It's the Vermont Air National Guard and Hill Air Force Base in Salt Lake, Ogden, Utah.
That's
They have 3 squadrons, we have 1. Those are the 4 operational squadrons in the country.
that's amazing.
Yes, coming online will be Madison, Wisconsin, Montgomery, Alabama, Jacksonville, Florida.
I hope they stay.
And are those replacing, are there already squadrons there with different planes?
Yeah, they're replacing, in Montgomery, they're replacing F-16s, in Jacksonville, Florida, they're replacing F-15s, and in Madison, Wisconsin, they're replacing F-16s.
Yeah.
I hear it flying, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I like that security. I'll tell
Just
you
want
right
to
now.
salute, man. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I'm curious whether you know the Rutland situation. When I was really going up there when I was little, we had an armory right at the top of the hill
On West
kind of thing, yeah.
or West Street, yes.
Yeah, and then it moved to North Street Extension for a while, I believe. And then the city took it over, it's now the Recreation Department's headquarters. Did the municipality buy it from you, or are they renting, or?
So West Street was actually purchased by a private company.
Okay,
It was actually a t-shirt manufacturer based
Yeah.
out of Pittsburgh, I think.
yes,
And they purchased it from the military department.
okay.
Where it went from them in ownership, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's still up, but I think it's Vermont Country Store, believe it or not.
I haven't been down there in a while,
Yeah.
so.
And what about the other one that was on North Street Extension, or North Street, I guess they call it?
The one adjacent to the correctional facility, the old correctional facility down?
No, this is, if you leave West Street, you're going north on Route 7, you turn right on North
Oh.
Street.
I
I know, because I got my motorcycle license in the parking lot behind there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I
Okay.
think that was the old Army Reserve Center.
Ah, okay, and they
So-
relocated on the
And, yeah,
post.
so-
Well, collectively,
Well,
both.
collectively, yeah, the Army
Okay.
Guard and the reserves moved up the post.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Brattleboro has an armory that's now a recreation center, so that's probably a good use for the old buildings.
A lot of it is, if the municipality takes it over, if they buy it from the military department, then most of the old ones they were dual use. They were basketball gyms, they were
Yeah.
there for
That's
theater,
awesome.
they were, a lot of the older, the 1920 vintage had a lot of that set. It was a multi-use facility.
Well, there was a reason for that. So they were most high schools' gyms,
Yeah,
basketball courts.
yeah.
So it was a community center. It was built that way.
Okay.
And it was understood within 25 years, you could turn it over to the city and it could be, because that's the policy. The military has to own it for 25 years. And Main Street, Burlington is a perfect example. There's 2 armories on Main Street. One of them is now the Vermont Comedy Club or whatever it is. And there's one down the street, like a block, on the opposite side. And those were literally built 25 years apart, except
Oh, no kidding.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. So
Yeah.
can you only own it for 25
No,
years?
no, that's the minimum.
Okay,
The
that's really
the
interesting.
military has to retain control of it for 25 years, and then it could become state property
Okay.
if there was no longer a need.
Wow, and then I just have one question, and then
Yeah.
I wanted to mention that Irene is, or Senator Renner's here. Are you closing the Winooski site? It seems,
So we will be closing, yeah, in essence, yes, the Winooski site will be closed down. The building will actually have to come down. And then once the lot is vacant, then we'll put that on the open market for sale.
all right, so you will sell the property,
Yes, ma'am.
and you guys check for hazardous materials and all that?
Oh,
before you
yes,
sell
ma'am.
it, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Before we access a property, we're required to go through and do an entire environmental assessment and document it.
It'd be good for housing, actually.
Potentially.
Somebody needs to have a beat on that. Okay, thank you.
The rationale for demolishing it is because it's actually cheaper to dispose of the building than to remediate it, because the paints inside are all PCB.
Well, thank you on behalf of the future buyer for taking care of that.
So most of your armories are emergency shelters as well, or capabilities for that?
They can be, yes. Actually, during the Christmas storm, we actually opened up, we had 6 armories available for emergency shelters over the Christmas holiday.
That's good. So do towns know that, or do you coordinate with the state emergency? folks?
Through the emergency management system, all the municipal emergency management folks know those arrangements.
That's
Yeah, that's almost an automatic.
Great.
Well, good. Any more questions?
Did she have a question?
I don't know. I just wanted us to
No.
say hi.
I saw her pen moving.
Yeah, yeah.
Any
Hi, Senator
questions?
Renner, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Any questions?
Not from here, thanks.
Okay, thank you.
And I guess my only thing is, I know very little about this, so do you have a website where I could go to find out more about what y'all do and how
I
it
mean,
works
yes.
and what your plans
I will send you a link to the National Guard website.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Well, we want to thank you for what you do. You know, my dad was raised in the military, we traveled all over the world, and so I'm a military brat. But thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
For no response.
Thank you for what you do. We appreciate you coming in,
Thank you.
and, very much, and,
Always a pleasure.
always a pleasure.
Absolutely, and I can't reiterate enough, invitation is completely open. If you want to come and see some of our new
And
infrastructure.
we do.
Love to host you on a field trip if you find an open day.
Oh, would love to.
Uh,
Would absolutely positively love to.
Yeah.
Would love to. So, but in the meantime, thank you.
Amen, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have, we might as well continue on with what we had planned for. We got Senator Miles and I have a meeting that we have to attend to at 1 o'clock, so we have 15. 1:30, excuse me,
okay.
1:30, so we have 15 minutes to go down through, so let's go through this section by section as far as who somebody wants to talk to.
Can I just have a quick,
Yeah.
about the military stuff?
Yeah.
If they didn't do a project, does the money stay with,
Back in here.
in that?
Yeah, it's got to keep.
Okay.
That's why we
Well,
have-
does it stay allocated to them so that they can do the
No, no,
project
no,
later,
no,
or
no,
it has to
no.
be reallocated?
It has to be, that's why, just to help you with that, that's why we have almost 92 or $3 million, but we have $62 million in cash from the one-time cash fund. The other remaining funds, from the 62 to the 93, wherever it is, I can't remember now what it is. We had what, 108, so I think maybe we had 94 million. So we have like $32 million that got reallocated back into the capital budget.
They can't spend a penny of this until the bill is not approved, signed by the governor. So they can't go out to bid on any of this stuff.
No, I understand, but he had said, what I heard anyway, was that because of high construction costs, they postponed some projects, which I think is really good and responsible of them.
Well,
to do.
what they did last year is they actually came in and gave us a presentation of what, if they had a wish list, what they needed.
Uh-huh.
And so that was the money that was what I was referencing. And so they actually came down through and said, well, I think, but looking at last year, what they've got, section maybe 11, hold on.
Everybody's faced with this inflation.
Right, oh yeah, but sometimes it makes sense to wait rather than fully on.
Last year biennium, they got 1.8 million, which I'm sure they expended. But they actually gave us last year a presentation, Senator Harrison, where they actually said, if it was a perfect world, and I didn't use that language, but I am just for the easy, if it was a perfect world, this is really how much money we could use.
Okay,
And it was substantial.
Okay.
It was actually a lot.
but it sounds like they have an overall plan for all their facilities,
Oh,
which
yeah.
maybe I can see on
Very
this website.
documented, very,
Yeah.
they keep a good track of what they need.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm not gonna go to number one. Number two is, Senator Collmore. Is there anybody in section two that you want to have in here? Let's pull up section two.
Well, we did get quite a education on the women's reentry facility and the short-term secure stabilization facility. I'm pretty sure we had both of those folks in. But I don't know about the booking expansion. Maybe we did see that. Northwest State Correctional Facility.
Yeah, that was we did have them then.
Yeah,
Yeah, we did have them then.
So I'm
Yeah.
all set on two.
Okay,
The youth and patient beds, are you good on that one? Oh, there's nothing on it. Or wait,
No, there isn't.
no, there's nothing on that one. Senator Miles, we have number three on judiciary. Is there anything on number three that you'd want to
but it-
have?
I'm
No, go
sorry,
ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but it just says FY 24-25 total requests, it does have a request here, but.
Yeah, but it doesn't
Not
have any
here.
money, no money's been allocated. Go in the middle column. Go in the
Right, but
middle.
that's 24-25. I mean, there should be.
Yeah, that's what we're doing is 20, this is the 24-25. This is what we're doing is 24-25.
Oh, so the department wanted that, but the governor's not recommending it.
Exactly.
So we might want to be prepared to speak to that.
Maybe, we'll see how the money sugar's on. Or if they're even, since they requested the money, maybe they're not even ready for it. Maybe there's other projects that they're trying to get done first, like the women's reentry facility,
Yeah, but I would have thought they wouldn't have recommended it in that case. It might be good to know, I mean, I would ask that question. But I'm not saying they have to come in here. I'm just
Yeah.
giving you
I'm
that
fine.
sense.
You haven't heard judiciary. We did?
Hold on, let me just go from number three. Let me find it.
Oh, yeah, okay, yes, okay, now I remember. It took me, yeah, okay, yes, thank you, appreciate it.
So number, hold on, four. Number four.
What we might do, Mr. Chair, what we might do is when we get to these sections, that you could follow up and get us some speaking minutes from the person. Again, just refresh it.
You want me to do that conventional?
No, just have, give us something, writing a little one paragraph.
Of what they heard.
Yeah, well, so we can report it. It's always helpful.
Yeah, when we
get to that point.
Would-
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, just a little one paragraph of, because we've gone through so much, our mind is.
Yeah.
But the sections we have, it's all been helpful to me, is you get a little one paragraph.
Yeah, what we'll do to Senator Miles' point is, and for everybody here, is that when we get ready to report this, it's exactly what we'll do. Actually, here's who's the attorney?
Our staff.
Becky.
Yeah.
Becky will give us
Yeah.
Becky will give us she'll give us a couple things. She'll give us one that you want to talk a lot, or she'll give us a one-page, a short version of how to report it.
Because you
That's
never know-
great.
you
That's
never
really
know.
helpful.
Yeah, no.
Usually there's not many questions.
No.
Right, very quickly, but
Right.
it's always nice to be prepared, and then you've got something behind you that you
Definitely.
figure out.
We had Commerce and Development Committee, the Community Development in, I believe. I
Yeah,
remember the underwater piece and
the unmarked burials,
sites,
unmarked burials, they
sites.
talked about the Civil War.
Yeah,
all
so I'm
of
all
that.
set before.
Okay, so number five. Who's number five?
Me.
Is Senator Harrison. Go right here. So we have, oh yeah, that was Laura Treishman.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm pretty familiar with those grants.
Yeah, and we just barely went through the grants. We had those yesterday. The capital, or, was it yesterday that we had a bit? the fair people or the day before
So
yesterday.
So
The ones
is-
that gave
are
us the
these
maple syrup,
fair?
the ones that gave us the maple syrup.
Right, so that's this fair.
Yeah,
That's-
that one's
that's-
that one right there.
Two models on the table, yeah.
I know, I still
I'm
have
gonna
it.
take it, sell them.
Number 6, Senator Collmore.
We haven't seen Ed yet, right?
I don't think that we have.
So we probably gotta have,
Yeah.
Gosh, who's the secretary?
French.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dan French. It's interesting too. It's
Number
not-
7, Senator Renner.
Yes.
Number 7, University of Vermont. Oh, they are coming in, aren't they?
UVM is coming Tuesday.
Tuesday, UVM's coming in, Senator Renner.
Excellent, because they don't have much in the binder.
State colleges,
Number 8, the state
we're gonna
colleges.
give them.
That's also mine.
Yeah, really.
Number 8, I think we've had them in a couple times.
Well, we will talk about our strategies before we.
We will, once
Proceed
they,
on this,
once,
right?
once they figure out.
But we don't have a lot to say about
Right.
that issue, that's the issue.
Right.
We're just.
I mean, we'll see and we'll see Senator Renner, to be fair, as far as on that one. We'll see how far the House is willing to go on that one as well.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we might be able to, we might be able to have to talk to them again. So,
Thanks.
yep. Number 9 is, I'm not gonna worry about number 9, that's me. Number 10, they're coming in 2 weeks, okay. Number 10, Senator Harrison, clean water.
You know what, I do have more questions on that. Should I try to figure that out myself, or,
Clean water.
No, you should get out.
well, it was, the issue was there are particular, the way what I heard from them, and I've been trying to figure it out from the A&R folks, was that they have a list of facilities that they're planning to fund, municipal water facilities. And it's mostly rehab, which I fully understand, and I think makes a lot of sense. But there's a perception out there in the world that there's gonna be a lot of money, new money for water and sewer. So if there's not, I wanna address that, and if you
Yeah.
think that's fair to do.
Well, because
So
I'm
I
asking this for you guys, so that you can be more knowledgeable, that you'll be comfortable with it, if you wanna meet with them. And you're not thinking that you're getting the answers that you want, and you wanna bring them from the whole committee, we'll do that. So whatever you wanna do.
So what's the time frame?
We still have some time. One of the reasons that we're doing this, and the reason why we're doing it, is that they have just barely started to mark up that bill. They're gonna have that bill from now all the way through March, probably into the first week of April.
The house you're talking about?
The House. So what we're trying to do is fill up some committee time.
Should I should I coordinate with the house people so that
No.
we're asking the same questions?
No, because they're all done asking.
Do your stuff.
Yeah, right. And they're all done asking. They're starting to mark the bill up themselves. So
Okay.
so,
Senator.
yeah.
The clean water issue and Agency of Natural Resources, they're coming in 2 weeks.
Oh,
The week after town meeting, as is the Agency of Agriculture, which has 2 sections.
oh, great. So do we know the dates?
I believe, let's see. I think it's the Wednesday for them. But I can let you know.
Yeah, please do. That would be very helpful. And then I can prepare, I can let them know ahead of time, actually. That's what I'd like to
Absolutely.
do is tell them ahead of time.
Especially if you've got some specific things that you want
Yeah.
them to drill down deeper into.
Okay.
Military, we just did. Number 12.
We did Department of Public Safety, we haven't heard.
No, yeah.
Yep. Okay, Linda.
Public safety is coming in
Good,
Wednesday,
okay.
March 1st.
Problem?
Okay, good.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Is that gonna relate to the dispatch conversation?
I don't think so. This is structure for.
Yeah, this is,
Okay.
yeah.
That's different, all of them.
You said ag was coming in?
Ag is coming in next, let's see,
Okay,
the week after town meeting,
so that's me second.
That's 13, okay.
13th.
Section
Dry hydrants.
14.
Dry hydrants.
We like dry hydrants.
You're the expert.
I know.
You know what? Let's bring them in though, because I want you guys to see that. That was a good presentation.
Okay.
Yeah, let's bring them in, Linda.
If I were them, I'd be asking for more money because rural fire departments are totally strapped.
I think they're 25, they're usually $25,000 a piece as far as those hydrants.
That's all they can spend.
No, aside from,
Yeah.
but this is very minimal dollars
Yeah, no,
for
no.
something that
No.
goes,
No, for dry hydrants, it's enough.
oh, yeah, for dry hydrants, it's enough.
That's all our responsibility.
That's all it is.
And
Right.
that is said somewhere.
Oh, yeah,
That's
that's.
And they'll tell you, there's some years they don't even spend it out. Some years it comes back to us.
If you're talking other parts,
Yeah,
that's usually across the hall and go up.
okay. Thanks.
Number 15 is,
HCV, I think I
yeah.
know enough, but.
yeah,
Well, I guess we'll see. I mean, once we get to talking
Well, have
points.
we had a minute? Okay.
Yeah, why not?
I think they were here,
That's what I thought.
unfortunately, I wasn't here, but I've seen them in other places.
And Wednesday the 15th is when the ANR is coming in.
Wednesday the 15th, thank you.
Vermont Veterans Home, I haven't seen anything from them, right?
I think they're coming in, aren't they, the veterans
Yeah,
home?
they are.
Okay.
Tuesday.
Okay, great. That's all for me.
Okay, 17 is Senator Mazza, Agency of Transportation, you know those
That's
guys?
St. Albans branch.
Yeah, we had them in, right? Did they come in and they told us, yeah, they were just in the other day and they were showing us the video, right?
They're good.
That was a video, we saw that in this committee, right, the video
Yeah.
of how far it was? Okay.
Yep.
And 18, Senator Renner, reallocations and transfers,
Things are selling, right?
Cherry Street Garage, I think that is,
I'm gonna cut the ribbon and we dump it.
Stand far away.
that is pretty, Senator Renner, are you familiar with what that is?
I don't
That's
know
all
what the
the
green,
monies, that's all the monies basically that they had, that they're gonna give back to the capital bill, because we know what their intentions are with that garage. So that's basically gonna be reallocation. So they've got it in here, but they're not gonna be trying to appropriate that money because their plan is to sell that building. So that $14 million will come back into our budget. But if you wanna have, if you're not comfortable with that, conversation, yeah, we can have them in there and we can talk about that, but, I don't know how much they can really say about it as they're trying to sell that building.
right. What's the greenhouse on 177? What's the
Uh,
first line?
that might be something that we can get them in and ask them about, because I don't know what it is, or do we want to seek somebody out?
That's AHS. I don't know who.
Yeah.
AHS. Okay, that would be good. I could always talk to somebody at BGS one-on-one just to make sure I, understand why there's so many line items about that.
And number 19 was well allocated, but I think I had told Linda that I would take number 19.
Yes.
The general obligation bonds appropriations, cash fund and all of that.
That's it, you're covered?
Yeah, we're covered.
And you're gonna make your meeting
We're
with
gonna,
30 seconds.
we're gonna go offline. I just wanna, add one thing.